This is really important in agility for your dog to learn to square up to your body. For start lines, cross and fronts, serpentines, proper jumping style. It is the base of recall to heel, which is the base of a lot of handling in agility. So ideally, this is the end result of our recall to heel perch work. Basically, Joker is just trying to be parallel my side, whether he's on the left or on the right. When I turn into him, when I turn away from him, and when I back up even, he just stays parallel me. Good boy, buddy. Yes. So our first step here is just to get Exo comfortable with wanting to be on the box, which she doesn't have an issue with, but now I'm trying to get her to kind of hold those front feet on the box a little more. So I'm just shaping, saying yes and rewarding when those front feet are on the box, and then I work up to where I'm watching the rear legs pivot around as I move. And that's what she's getting the yeses for in this session. She should be deliberately pivoting on those front feet and distinctively moving those rear legs around the box. Yes. 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 All right, once she was consistently keeping her front feet on the box and independently moving her rear feet around, I started to go parallel her and pivot towards her nose so that her rear feet were pivoting around, seeking out that parallel position. So whether they're on my left or on my right, here I'm pivoting clockwise kind of in front of her, little baby steps, and I'm just waiting for that rear end to kind of catch up and mark when she is choosing on her own. I'm waiting patiently and waiting for that rear feet to swing around, which it eventually does. Yes. Yes, good girl. Good girl, yes. All right, so we're going to start another session, a new day, and basically just kind of starting up the same area, taking little baby steps, and rewarding when she's moving those rear feet to seek out my parallel position a little bit more. Yes. Nope, not that way. So I switch sides like a front cross and waiting for her to square back up. I'm just kind of pivoting around the box as well, keeping the box to my side. And just waiting for her to swing the little rear end around and marking when she does. Gonna just ignore that behavior and let her think. Good puppy. That one was awesome. Okay, when you come to shaping, the worst thing you could do is go in and help too quickly. Let them think. Yes. That was a very good Grady. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Yes. All right, so after a few more sessions, I'm going to start becoming very specific about her position. You see she is quickly moving as soon as I start pivoting around, she pivots around. I just did a front cross there, asked her to come up on my other side. Basically, a front cross is just turning into her and getting her to come up on that other side, just like that, and waiting for her rear end to pivot around. Good girl. Now where I'm marking is a very specific squared position, and not really asking for anything less than a nice, tight, right there, parallel position. Her tail's happily going, and she's swinging that rear end around nicely. So after several really good sessions like that last one, I'll do a little small session with the box. And if she does it good, then I'll immediately take the box away and try right away, see if she'll do the same thing without the box. And here she generalized that pretty well.
Yes.
If you need to go to a smaller box first, or a paper plate, or a real plate, or a mouse pad, or some kind of other little middle training aid, you could do that. I just went ahead and tried it without it. And again, marking when that rear pivots along with me. Of course, we just came from a very good session, so she remembered it. So if you're not very good at shaping, here's another way you could do it. This is how Joker actually learned to do it. So with a leash and collar on, I put the leash behind my legs, close to being parallel to the ground. So that's going to help his neck and body stay close into mine. I have the treat, the lure, right up against his nose and as close to my knee as possible. And I kind of lure to that outside ear as I step into the front of his paws. You could switch to the other side and the same thing. That off arm is holding the leash behind my knees. The inside arm is having the treat right in front of his nose. He's getting a little too excited here. But you just take a 90-degree step into him as that treat lures him to the outside ear. And again, you wait for that rear leg to pivot around, parallel you, and then mark it that way.